Hi, good afternoon. I'm Liz Rowlinson, property journalist, work for Place in the Sun TV programme and website. This is a Place in the Sun TV series revisited. You may have just watched the TV programme about Angie and Kelly in Bulgaria. If not, then go and have a look at it, see the recording, because this is what happened after. This is what all our readers and listeners are often dying to know about. When after the filming happens, did they end up buying the property? What happened after? So I'd like to introduce Angie and Kelly, who filmed out in Sunny Beach in Bulgaria. I think about a year ago now. Was it a year, guys? Yeah, the end of 2019. And they appeared with Scarlett on the TV programme, as you might have seen, looking for an apartment in Sunny Beach for £25,000, which was going to be a purchase with Kelly's mum, a sort of a joint purchase for them both to use. And but Kelly's mum was unable, Murray, to actually go on the filming. So Kelly, can you tell me tell us, what happened about your mum? Take us back to when you got the call about appearing on the TV programme.
Yeah, well, they had already booked in the week that they needed us to go, and it was a week that my mum had already pre-booked a holiday, a really big holiday that she'd been planning for a long time, so there was no way she could change it. So I then had to find someone else to come. It was during school time, and my boyfriend works in a school, so he couldn't come. So then it was next option to phone my best friends, and I picked up the phone to Angie, and she can tell you what she said straight away.
I was coming. I wasn't going to let her do it without me.
So brilliant. So to go back. So basically, you're a formal, you're a very professional pole vaulter, aren't you, Kelly?
I don't know about very professional. I pole vaulted for a long time. I'm retired now. I did athletics for 30 years, but I wouldn't call. I was an amateur, but I took it kind of seriously.
And now you work in the school, you said?
Yeah, we both work in secondary schools.
And you met working at a sports centre, is that right, Angie?
Yeah, that's correct. We've known each other since we was 18 years old. So yeah, our friendship goes back a long way, even though we still both think that we're 18 years old.
It can't, well, one has to do that. So tell us, you went. So did Kelly what had you done to look for your property before you thought about going on Place in the Sun? Had you started looking, or?
Yeah. I'd been thinking about it for a few months, and I've got a Bulgarian friend, and I knew the properties were really good value. So I started looking on the internet. I was looking for a few months, and there was so much, but it was just sort of I was really nervous about never having bought a property abroad before. I've bought properties in this country, but it was something completely different, and I just didn't feel that I could do it on my own.
Yeah. So then you applied to Place in the Sun, is that right?
Yeah, I just sent an email, and it didn't take long at all before they got back to me, and that was when they had the dates and stuff, and they asked us to come down and meet them, and we just both drove down to meet the team and had a little chat, and then it all set everything in motion.
Brilliant. And you've never been to Bulgaria, either of you?
No, I know that sounds crazy to buy somewhere that we'd never been, but it wasn't so much about the place. I knew from my friend that it was a beautiful place, and it had the weather and it had the beach. And to be honest, I couldn't afford to go somewhere like Spain or France. So it was probably my only option. So I was just really hoping I would love it.
Yeah. Sure. And how you're in Essex. How do you get to Bulgaria from where you are? How will you fly to reach when you go out to Bulgaria?
We've got loads of options of airports, but we actually flew from Luton, but the journey was way better than we expected, wasn't it, Angie? It was really easy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Is it
we
about
have got nearer airports. Sorry, we have got nearer airports that obviously we would look to first, or Kelly would look to first to book from. But yeah, as we say, when we went, it was from Luton, but it was absolutely fine.
brilliant? So Kelly, going back to your mum, I mean, how long have you been talking about buying together? Had that been a while?
Well, it's me really. I always come up with ideas, and if I haven't got enough money, I go to mum, as most of us do. So I just said to my mum, does she want to go halves with me? Because I'd saved up half the money. So mum said yes. She thought it was a great idea. She'd never really thought of doing it, but she just thought it was an exciting idea, and she loves her holidays, so she said yes.
Brilliant. And so how did you find the filming? Was it what you expected? Angie, do you have a say?
Yeah, it was obviously completely different. You can't exactly imagine how that's going to pan out, but overly, it was a tiring week. It wasn't easy. I mean, house hunting's not easy, full stop, in England, but you know, with the heat, it was early morning starts, but it was also worth it, obviously, because Kelly got what she wanted.
Sure. And Kelly, I mean, you both appeared really naturally on TV. I mean, were you nervous? I mean, was it fun as well?
Yeah, it was really fun. We felt like on the first day we was more nervous, and then we kind of got used to it because we was filming quite a long time each day, most of the day. So I guess we did get used to it as the week went on. So I don't know if at the beginning we come across as a bit nervous, but we got used to it, didn't we, Ange?
Yeah, and we can't help but be ourselves. So that we can only hope that had come across too.
No, it came across really great. And also, I think it really, I mean, you're not the only ones to take a friend along with you to buy, even if, you know, you're just on your own. And I could see that Angie was being really sort of useful in providing some sort of, you know, constructive kind of pros and cons. And did you really find it useful, Kelly?
Yeah, definitely. Because I can be really impulsive and just make decisions really, really quickly. And I knew she'd make me think of all the pros and cons, and she'd tell me the truth. That was the main thing. She wouldn't just go along with what I wanted. And she had my mum's best interests at heart, and all of our friends, of course.
Yeah. And I think you said in the programme that, you know, Bulgaria was almost better than you expected. Well, can you both of you tell me what you really loved about it?
Ange?
Yeah, and what did you love about it?
The beaches were astounding. It was stunning. Again, late evenings, we both felt very comfortable walking around. It just, again, was really impressed with the place, wasn't we, Kel? The cost of eating out was really, really cheap. But yeah, we really felt comfortable. The place was beautiful. It was beautiful and had so many different parts to it. You know, the old town we fell in love with much more really than Sunny Beach. But yeah, we had a fantastic time.
And Kelly, there's quite a lot going on there, isn't there? Because you was mentioning the water sports and stuff. And I mean, how often do you? I know we're going to come on to the fact that you haven't managed to get there this year much, but I mean, how many times a year do you expect to go to your property?
Well, because where we work in schools now, I work in a school now, my partner works in a school, you do get a lot of holidays. So we could go almost every school holiday during the season. So definitely May half term, summer holidays, and then October half term. So I think at least 3 times a year. And then my mum's retired, so she can just go whenever she likes.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant. And then you're going to have some girls' holidays, you were saying?
Yeah.
They will predominantly be in the school holidays too, because the majority of us work in schools.
Yeah.
So yeah, the same.
So tell us, so we those of you who've watched the episode will have just seen that it ended with you putting an offer in on a lovely property number 2, wasn't it, in the Vineyards? And it was a bit of a, I thought it was quite a cheeky offer. Did you? I mean, I was slightly surprised that it was virtually accepted. Was that your reaction?
No, we actually offered the asking price on that one because
Right.
Somebody else had already put an offer in. So we went with the same offer because I think they kept it on hold for us, didn't they? We put put an interest in early, and then they had always said we couldn't go lower, so we just went in with the asking price and it was accepted. So that was brilliant. So it was under my budget, so I was really happy with that.
Yeah, by a chunk. And then it comes furnished, and you're not going to sort of need to do that much to it, are you?
Not at all. It's got everything. It even had like cutlery and plates and glasses and everything you could need. Fridge, microwave. So all we've got to take is our clothes, really.
So tell us, what after the filming stopped, how did the purchase process go? How long did it take, and what happened next?
It took pretty much exactly 3 months, which is fine. That's what it takes over here. So I wasn't expecting it to go really fast, but it was really complicated. And I used a solicitor firm in this country rather than use one out there. And it was more expensive doing it that way, but it made me feel a lot more at ease knowing they were specialists in dealing with overseas property. So rather than I could have gone with a Bulgarian solicitor, but I think the language barrier would have been too complicated.
That was probably really sensible. And what did you have to pay on top of the? It was 20,500, wasn't it? The actual price. What did you have to pay for your costs?
That figure, I added up every single cost that I had to pay, including transferring money, notary fees at both ends, all sorts of things, and the solicitor's fees, and even paying the first year service charge up front. It come to about just under 25,000. So the fees were about another 4,000 on top.
Gosh, so that's a good job that you didn't go too over budget, wasn't it? Yeah.
That was good.
And it's a bit gutting that you've had to pay some service charges and you haven't been able to get there, have you? So tell us what you've had great plans and what's happened.
Yeah, I had flights booked. Angie and her family was definitely up for going out this year as well. And I cancelled the flights and I pushed them back and I pushed them back again. And it just got to the point where Bulgaria never came onto the travel corridor list. And in the end, we just resigned ourselves to the fact that we wasn't going to get out there. So it was a real shame.
Oh, but you will do, and it's playing the long game. And I mean, Angie, did doing the filming and the whole experience make you want to buy a property abroad? Did it?
My husband was trying to buy Mari out whilst I was out there, and then he was also saying, "Is there not one next door?" But yeah, at the same time, it's probably not the right time for us in the fact that we've been renovating our house. So you know, there's different story. But yeah, no, totally. And again, for what Kelly got, it was absolutely amazing.
It's brilliant. And yeah, I saw you FaceTiming your mother on you obviously had a long chat with her the night before you decided, and she was it was brilliant that you were able to did you show her sort of almost like a video of the property, a walkthrough, Kelly?
Yeah, taking photos and videos at every property and sending them to her. She was actually in America, so the time difference was,
oh my gosh,
she was doing a big trip with my auntie. So we had to try and keep in touch with her and show her all the properties, but she just trusted us, didn't she, Anne? She asked
totally. And it was really lovely that when we did do that call, Kelly was obviously feeding back. The one thing that she said really broke my heart. She said, "And what do you think, Angie?"
Oh,
nice.
But it was such a. I'd never seen anything like the vineyards. I mean, back in the day, I'd been to Sunny Beach. I think about nearly 20 years ago, and it's really grown up and matured into a really vibrant place. And the vineyards had a really lovely sort of feel, didn't it? And the views and everything.
We got a wow when we went there, because a lot of the other properties were much closer to the main town, but we just felt we didn't need that. Once you got to the vineyards, and it had everything you needed, and it's only about just over a mile from the coast, so you could walk down if you wanted to, or there's plenty of buses and stuff. So, yeah.
And of course, being on this managed complex has been a great bonus during your enforced absence, because you haven't been able to get there. So have you been getting you've got peace of mind that it's actually going to be okay when you actually get there?
Yeah, what they do for the service charge is absolutely brilliant. They check everything, they paint the accommodation, they change the light bulbs, they do so much more than what we expect. It's not just external, and you can email them at any point, and they're constantly checking to see everything's okay and looking after your property. So I've had no worries at all.
Brilliant. So what is the service charges every year?
It's about £800, but me and my mum are going halves on that as well, so it's not too bad.
That's not too bad in the scheme of things, is it? Because I've heard of a lot worse. I think it tends to be roughly at least £50, in Spain, for example, for a comparable property a month. So yes, so that's good. So what do you? I mean, from your search, process, I mean, is there any advice that you'd give anyone sort of sitting at home now thinking, oh, I quite like the look of that, and going to sort of think about looking for a property? Kelly?
Yeah, I think it was a bit different looking on the internet to going out there, because some of the places we saw on the internet that looked amazing, that just the whole complexes wasn't very nice. A couple of the ones we looked at we didn't really like, did we, Ange, when sort of from the outside?
No.
Yeah.
No.
It was more, they can make places look really nice, and it's where it's situated. It's really important to feel comfortable where you are, because I think a lot of the really cheap ones are really on the outskirts of town. Although we're not in the main town, it's just in a really nice position, and very close to the airport as well.
You could see from the views on some when you actually walked around, couldn't you? The views. I think there was a power station. You called it. It looks a bit like Dungeness or something, Angie. I mean, you don't see that on the internet, do you? The views from the different bits. So you're right. You really need to get out there and have a look at them.
Because that one was actually quite nice, but that just put us off.
Yeah, I mean, certainly the one you've got has a great feeling of sort of space and lovely views, doesn't it? And it's sort of peaceful. Did you get an impression of what the other owners there were like? Did you see any of them? No. I
don't think we really saw. We didn't have time really. We're not there for a long time at each property, so we didn't really talk to anyone. We had a little a tour around the complex, but yeah,
we ate lunch there, didn't we? We had lunch in the restaurant. That was nice. But obviously we were with the team. It wasn't as if we had like hours to wander or to sort of have time on our own there, was it?
It is quite intense from what I can gather from the filming schedule. Yeah. So tell us, when do you next hope to get out there, both of you?
It's definitely going to be May half term. The season's a bit shorter in Bulgaria. The sort of the good weather seasons. So the complex opens, I think, sort of May to October. Mm-hmm. So it won't be till May half term now, because my mum will be itching to go, but she wants to go with me the first time, and then she can just go on her own when she likes.
Brilliant. And then when do you imagine you might be able to go with the rest of your gang? I think there's 6 of you that are really good friends. Is that right?
Yeah. It'll probably be the summer.
Yeah. And what are you going to do? What's your itinerary going to involve?
The swim up bar.
For the whole time.
Yeah.
Angie, no, the whole time.
Aren't you going to hire bikes and go and look at the ruins in Nesebar and all the rest?
Angie will be saying, "Oh, you go without me. I'm just going to stay on the side."
No, we will definitely do visits out to Old Town, and I think the girls will want to do. We will all want to do a night out, so that will be a night at Sunny Beach. But yeah, the complex, I'm sure, would be enough to keep us all happy at the age we're at.
And the shopping was great as well.
Yeah, the shopping was fantastic.
Really, in Sunny Beach?
Yeah.
Brilliant. So, and then tell me, if there's going to be 6 of you, are you all kipping on the floor, or you get another apartment? I was trying to imagine.
Well, the actual apartment that Kelly's buying, the 2 sofas in there are sofa beds.
So you can all get.
We can all, if we chose to, we can all actually stay in the one apartment, if Kelly lets us. But obviously there is that option of looking to see if there are other apartments whereby we could hire and spread out a little bit.
I was going to say yeah, Kelly.
There's the hotel as well in the vineyard, so we could easily get a hotel.
That would be useful. And I was going to say, if you're not going to use it, it sounds like you're going to be using it a lot between all of you. But would you ever be tempted to rent it out if you wanted to sort of get a bit of extra cash, or you weren't able to get out there for whatever reason?
Yeah, definitely. We said maybe the first couple of years we'll use it for us, and then we'll see how we feel and maybe rent it out, because I'm on some Facebook groups now of the vineyards, and there's people that look after it and manage it, so it's really simple.
Brilliant. Do you know how much you'd pay to rent an apartment like that for a week, roughly?
It's not expensive. It's not as expensive as you would in Spain or France or somewhere like that, but I don't know exactly. But yeah, there'd be a small profit. It might be able to help pay the service charge each year.
And did you find you said that the food and drink is quite reasonable when you're out there, so it's kind of quite an inexpensive place, assuming you can get cheap flights out there as well?
Yeah, it was amazing, wasn't it, Ange?
Yeah, the meals were really cheap.
We was getting a really nice big meal, more than we could eat, and it was coming, and maybe a drink, a beer or something. It was coming to like £6 each. We was quite amazed. We thought we was adding it up wrong or getting the exchange rate wrong, because it was so cheap. Because we're used to going to other places in Europe where it's pretty same as London now. So,
yeah.
Good.
Yeah, the wine is quite nice. Where you've got your apartments called the Vineyards. Are there actually vineyards around? The development? Did you see?
I really don't know.
Well, I think the Bulgarian wine is generally quite good, but maybe you didn't. Did you have any when you were out there?
You, Angie. Angie's a wine fan. I'm not.
We didn't have time to drink. We did not have time in our schedule, did we?
No. We had to get up really early, so we didn't want to get up with a hangover.
No, very, very professional. Oh, well, look, thank you guys. I think that's really good. Everyone will be really excited to hear how you've got on, and it's all gone well. And it's just that maybe we can do another follow-up when you've actually been able to go out there. You can report back on the swim up bar, and your mum can tell us about how she loves the place, we hope. So thank you very much indeed for sharing more with us, and good luck in the next year, and to enjoy your apartment.
Thank you.
Thanks again. Bye.
Bye.